Good morning, everyone. Two people who showed up. I appreciate that. That's what's good. Good morning. Well, I gotta turn it down. You're gonna hear some echo real bad for just a second. Um, it is so nice. It is so nice to be here with you guys this morning. I'm gonna do something a little bit different for this morning because I just feel like talking freely. I'm actually super proud of myself. Let me tell you about what just happened. So I was trying to upload this video, and I was setting up the live, and I pressed play and I didn't see any video on my channel. Now I had a direct link to it from my software where it showed me how many people were here, and like I could go look at the stream, but it wasn't streaming on my channel. And then what I learned was that it was actually unlisted, which gave me an excellent idea. Instead of just coming out here and just starting it, I could do one stream first just to test things. And then once I see that everything works, I could then come back, you know, and start the regular stream. Anyway, it's Friday, y'all. It is raining, and I love that. It's Friday, it's raining in Seattle, and that's the best to me. I love rain. That's one of the things I miss the most about living in Louisiana is the rain. The thunderstorms. The thunderstorms in Seattle are so just, bro, they don't put the fear of anything in me. You know, when I'm in a thunderstorm in Seattle, I don't fear for my life. I don't start thinking about all the bad things I've ever done. I have not felt a visceral fear of the weather in Seattle. I haven't. It snowed once and that was scary. But like when you are from Louisiana, what's up, Mad Cap? I missed the dramatic storms. Me too. When you are in Louisiana and you're in the middle of a hurricane, bro, you will pray to everybody's God. First off, you're gonna turn off all the stuff in your house, and then you're gonna sit down. You're gonna sit down and you're not gonna move because we know what happens when the Lord is doing His work. We're supposed to be still. So anyway, I'm gonna do something different this morning. I am playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I need to find this thing. So I'm gonna talk with you guys as I try to find this thing because I need to find this thing. Oh, where my face at? Well, let's do the one with my face on it so you can at least see me as I'm talking. Okay, so this is Rise of the Tomb Raider, and we just gonna talk. I'm gonna let y'all pick the topics, and I'm just gonna walk through here because there's this thing I need to find, and I've beaten the whole game. I've beaten the entire game, and so there are no more like enemies anywhere. So it's not loud shooting and fighting. I kind of just get to walk. So you guys tell me today what it is that you would like for me to discuss while you have me on here, because very soon, I will not be doing these like this anymore. I'm gonna be putting everything on my app, and I'm gonna start hyping that up because y'all, that's what the app is for. Because I've always wanted a YouTube channel just to play video games. Or now, of course, my games that I play are gonna have something to do with mental health. They're gonna have something to do with issues like that. But I think video games are a much better medium for discussing these things. So I'm gonna be switching to that very soon. And so I just want to let everybody know, and then make sure that you can. I actually have a preview of the app. It's actually really freaking sick. I'm very proud of the work I did with it. I absolutely thought that I was gonna have it much sooner than what I actually did, but that's okay. Patience is a virtue. So I'm super excited about that. So my talks won't be as long anymore, or they won't be, not that it won't be as long, but they won't be directly to YouTube. Like my audience is going to be the people on my app. And I'm just ready to move on because I keep on saying if I get a Netflix show, forget that. I want to create something so awesome that people ask me, they be trying to debate me to be on their stuff. I don't want to be begging nobody. I'm not trying to make something somebody pick me up. I'm gonna do what I can do. I would like to know a way to handle my parents as an adult. They are very religious and I am not. I feel pressure to fake religion and with who I am with them. So since today is Free Talk Friday, I'm just gonna cut through the BS and we just gonna get to it. So this is not to, there is emotional components important in your situation, right? There's an emotional tie that you have to your parents. There's a family loyalty that you have. I don't have that loyalty to your parents. So when I talk about this, it is you are going to have to insert the emotion for yourself, okay? Because I'm not going to talk about it from a super emotional standpoint, because that's unfortunately what has blinded you in this situation. I am making a lot of assumptions about your situation. I can't speak to the specifics. I hope that you understand. I think a reasonable person would understand that. So I'm going to speak about this dynamic of handling your parents as an adult whenever they have a wildly different view than you do. And I will speak about that dynamic as soon as this stage loads. Look at that! Isn't this game beautiful? Okay, so let's talk about this dynamic. Number one, you're gonna have to decide what level of your parents' BS you are willing to put up with. Okay? You have to decide, how important is this relationship to me? Is this relationship, like, what do I need it for? What do they do for me? So many people are in relationships with very toxic people just because they think they have to be. Right? So in the instance of religion, we know that religion is what gives people the ability to make meaning in their lives. Religion is what helps people understand the world that we live in. Because if you don't have some, oh, I wonder what's down here. If you don't have some sort of framework to see the world in, like, the world can be a very scary place. You don't understand why people do things. You don't understand why stuff happens. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do, I don't know, why didn't, whatever it might be. Why? Religion is to help us answer the question why. But I think what people get wrong with religion, what I got wrong with religion, is that it's only a metaphor. Like, we can never, like, the biggest question we all have is, why are we here? We can never truly know the answer to that question. Like, if you knew the answer to why all of this existed, like, why would you live anymore? Why would you do anything? And so I think sometimes people take religion as if it is the answer why, as if it explains everything, and it doesn't. There's no religion that explains everything. And any religion that says that it explains everything is a cult. I don't care whether it's the Christian church, the Kojic, whatever it might be. Now, I'm not saying all Christians are cultists. I am saying that the type of Christianity that is toxic enough to where you will divide your family members over it, that right there, bro, that is cult-like. I don't know what else to call it. I've worked with so many people that were in Jehovah's Witness or ex-Mormons or even the ex-Kojic church, where they've been through these experiences that how am I doing this, by the way, y'all? I'm just out here. I didn't plan this morning. I really didn't. All I thought, I had no topic in mind. It's just so funny how I just come up with all these things to say. But anyway, see, I gotta stop going off on tangents. That's what that was. That was a tangent. And now I missed my really base point. And so to check and make sure I'm just not speaking to the wind, can someone please tell me where I last left off and what they last heard me talk about? And then I won't take any more tangents. Let's make sure. You know what? That's not fair, though, because that's not fair to the people who gonna listen to the replay. I appreciate you answering, but I didn't even finish answering the question yet. That was just the preliminary. What do you mean you appreciate me answering? I'm not done. There's so much more. You know what? I'm gonna have to think about the people who are not here. So anyway, religion not, thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale. Thanks, Dale. Dale, the real one. Thank you, Dale. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Okay. Yes, cults. Thank you. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Gwen and Dale. I appreciate you. Yes. I am not saying that everyone that is in a religion is a cult, but I am saying some of these religions turn into what I would describe as a cult. I have a video up on my YouTube channel about why I left the black church, to explain what it is that I was talking about. And so with these types of religious systems that give people meaning in their lives, oh my goodness, if I fall again. With these type of religious systems that give people meaning in their lives, it unfortunately gets them to a place where they have to do us versus them. Like, for people to prove how much they believe in their particular religion, it requires them to do things to affirm that particular religion. And that is where, oh no, Laura, that is where we run into issues. Because then you have to decide how much of their religious toxicity do you want to deal with. So let's say you have parents who are super, super religious and think that if you're gay, you're going to hell. This happens in the black community quite a bit. You will have a different spectrum of types of responses that you can get from those parents, right? Sometimes they'll say, love you, but I still love you, or love the person, hate the sin, or whatever it might be. They have lots of different cute ways of drawing a boundary between you, them, and their religion. And so when people ask me, like, how do I handle my parents as an adult? You're really asking me, how do you set a boundary? That's what you're asking me. You're asking me, how do I set a boundary with my parents? That's what you're asking me to do. And the reason that, and the thing is, people don't understand, like, when you ask this question, you're literally telling me that your parents, like, use authority as a way to control you, because you shouldn't have to ask that question. You shouldn't have to know how to handle, right? It depends on how you define handle as well, too. You know, sometimes handling your parents is not talking to them. So this really isn't about how to handle your parents. It's about you making a decision about what you want to do with your parents. It's about you making a decision about the type of relationship that you want to have with your parents. This is a you thing. It is not them, because your parents have not changed. They've stayed the same. They continue to do the things that you were talking about that you don't want them to do, right? So this isn't about how you handle them from that perspective. It's about, what are you going to do? I can't answer this question for you. I know that I love myself too much to allow myself to be around people that are going to invalidate me. I don't care whether you're my mother, my brother, my sister, my uncle, whoever it is. I've distanced myself from a large percentage of my family, and all of them. I don't know why I'm lying. And I'm going to slowly reintroduce myself to certain people. But I'm not going to continue to put up with folks just because they're family. That's stupid. That's stupid. I know I love myself more than that. Family is not so important to me anymore, to where I feel like I have to put up with ridiculous behavior. I refuse to do it. Not anymore. So you have to make a determination for yourself about how much of the behavior you want to put up with. I'm not dealing with people telling me I'm too sensitive. I'm not dealing with people who hit their kids. I'm not hanging out with those folks anymore. I don't have to. I'm not afraid of being alone so much that I do that. So you need to figure out a way to deal with your parents. You have to decide, how do you want to handle how you handle your parents? That's what you got to figure out. But I'm just not in the mood for dealing with people's unresolved issues and problems anymore. That's not for me. That's not my fault. That's not, I'm not dealing with it. Absolutely not. Does that answer your question? I hope it does. If you have any follow-up questions, you can let me know. I don't want to run around too quickly in this stage. The whole game is beautiful, but now I just want to shoot things as I talk. You have a perfect game for that. I don't know why I'm tripping. Not the perfect game for just wanting to shoot stuff and talk. I have told people what I feel about the secret to a long-term marriage as simply not getting divorced. I always get weird looks when I tell them how I feel when I'm asked. I've been married 26 years. You know, it's so funny when I do thoughts on if that's an unhealthy way to think about it. I am not about to ruin what you have thought for 26 years of your life because I am a skilled debater and orator. I could ruin that. Don't ask me that. Ain't none of my business. It's your relationship. If you happy in your relationship, what the hell you think? What a 31-year-old family therapist that got divorced after being married for 7 years is gonna tell somebody who obviously has the shit right? I wish I would disrespect you in your marriage like that. Absolutely not. You tell me. Teach me. I'm about to come to you and get some lessons. No, 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 no. I don't think I don't have any thoughts on that. My thoughts about how you've been married 26 years are not relevant. You know, marriage in general, though, I do think that a lot of the times, you know, I think the secret to a long-term marriage is to not get married. I don't like the concept of marriage. I don't. I like the loving idea of it. That makes sense. You know, I love the idea of it. But the concept that people take with marriage, the idea that you are going to find someone who is going to love you forever despite all the terrible stuff that you do, love, no, no, no. Most people are not ready to get married because most people haven't spent enough time with themselves to be able to even explain to a married partner what it is that they want. No idea. They have no idea. And so I think that's why people get divorced. They marry a snapshot of someone. They marry someone who they were as 7 years ago. And it just doesn't last. It doesn't last. Most people's idea about love and marriage. That's why I'm so happy on my app. I have a section for dating advice and marriage advice. So I'm just gonna write all of these things out. Everything that you would hear in couples therapy, everything that you would hear in premarital therapy. But most people are not ready to get married. And then when people do get married, what they fight about is so simple yet so frustrating because it's hard to get people to see it. I'm going to say it and people really won't get it. But most people in their relationships, in their marriages, they truly fight over whether the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. Neither one of those are right or wrong. What they're fighting about is perspective. Whose perspective are we going to go with in this relationship? It's so funny. I'm giving away all these secrets and I got 14 people. It's hilarious. That's how I love, you know why I love this? Because I'm not going to have to do no work. After May the 14th, when Mass Effect comes out, I'm not going to have to do any work because I've already given away so much stuff for free. It's a choice every day for me, which is why I say the secret is to not get a divorce. That makes sense. Yeah. And again, this is not to knock you. I'm just speaking freely about my own choices. I would never choose to be with one person for the rest of my life ever again. Like, I'm not going to choose to lock someone in a contract like that. I think we can have a discussion, but to make a contract between us and the state, I'm chilling. I also have a business now and a whole, like, I have a whole, practice, and I ain't trying to get in with somebody who I trust and then they take half of my everything. I'm just not down that. Luckily, I just left my last relationship with a bunch of debt, but that's okay because we knocking it out now. Because again, y'all gonna tell everybody about my app that's only $10 a month, where I will do all sorts of amazing things and answer all sorts of questions. So if I could just get 10% of my following to download my app and pay me $10, bro, you don't even know how much that would transform my life. Bro, you talking about production values. You know how guilty I would feel if I got even 10% of my following to download my app. I would be so guilty, and everything would be like, I would be trying to do, like, I don't know, network television levels of production values. Absolutely. Where's my fishing pole? I can't fish here. Hey. Do I not have a fishing pole? I thought I had a fishing. You know what? My fishing pole is on my other game. That's what happened. Let's go buy us a fishing pole, and we'll go fishing. And I'm gonna end this up at 7:50. I got work today. I do want to stream some games later. I just keep making excuses about why I can't do it. If I'm telling the truth, I'm gonna stop lying. I keep making excuses about why I couldn't just get up here and stream some games. I be making some really good excuses too. I'm tired, you know. I've been working all day. Anybody gonna want to watch me stream games? And it really is unfortunate because I probably could do an excellent job with it. We're gonna blow up that. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to turn around. Nah, you are not getting away. Like you're my. Who was shooting me in the back? But that's okay because we gotta focus on one thing at a time. And I want to destroy that van. Who is shooting me? Okay, all right, he's got a bigger gun. Okay, well, he killed me. What would be the most important piece of advice that you would give someone trying to recover from being in a cult? You're gonna have to, like, learn to trust yourself a lot. Because when you grow up in a cult, in order to become in the cult, there's a point in the cult where you have to, like, pretend that what you're seeing in front of you isn't actually happening. And spending that long, that much amount of time gaslighting yourself, basically, it's really difficult to recover from if you don't start off with the assumption that I can trust myself. I know that for me, growing up in the environment that I grew up in, when coronavirus started, there was a small part of me that really thought, all right, this is it. This is it. This is the end of the world. This is when it's done. This is when it's over. And it's insane, but not really. It makes sense. It's not insane. It's just growing up in that environment. That's the first thing that you think of. And so it's very important that you learn how to trust your own emotion. And number two, you have to learn how to be wary of the relationships that you build with people. Because getting into the cult was partly due to the fact that you don't really know how to tell when you're in a relationship that isn't the best for you. Because if you did, you wouldn't have gotten into the cult. And so it's just important to like come up with your own internal way of evaluating people. Don't just go with the first thing that you see with someone. Like give them an opportunity, like test them out, you know. It's okay to test people out. And I think that's another thing, like question authority all the time. If you're worried about something, go get more knowledge. Like don't just stop at I'm worried about it. Go learn more about the thing. Oh, what? There's so much. There's so much. Growing up in an end times cult, you expect the end of the world around the corner. I mean, you growing up in an end times cult, you expect the end of the world for everything. Like sometimes I can't even chill and enjoy myself at times because I'm always, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? Is did I do something embarrassing in college and someone's gonna come find me and tell the world about it? Is the video of the time I got beat up or almost got beat up set online somewhere? You know, like all these worries that at the end of the day are absolutely plausible, but like the chances of that happening are extremely low. And if that does happen, the only way something like that would happen would be me at a place and level famous enough for it to happen. So I guess what I'm saying is I probably would have enough millions of dollars to just, you know, ignore that problem a little bit. So it's just learning how to see that the glass is half full. It's learning how to see it in the learning how to see your world in a perspective that isn't so terrifying. Growing up being spanked and verbally abused, how do you recover from growing up in that environment? Find a stable environment, which is what therapy is supposed to be. Most people go to therapy and get like re-traumatized. Finding a stable environment to live in, finding someone who, you know, actually does care for you and, you know, will tell you when you're doing your stuff. You know, like we can't expect people to like never have any emotion around. Oh, I need to buy a fishing pole. We can't expect people to just, you know, put up with undesirable stuff. But finding someone who understands, right? And usually it's somebody else who has been through something like that. It's very difficult to be friends with someone who hasn't been through stuff like that and also, you know, have them like not feel sorry for you every single time you tell them something about your life. Like those people really, and I get kind of annoyed with it because I know from some people it comes from a good place. But when I tell these stories and when I talk about these things, I feel like sometimes the people telling me the most how sorry they are for me are the people who haven't dealt with their own issues enough, you know? Like they should be sorry for themselves. Like, I know what happened to me. What happened to you that you haven't dealt with just yet, you know? That's kind of how I think about it. Can real life illnesses come from trauma? I've been dizzy and lightheaded for a year and all my doctors say it's anxiety. Look, this is not medical advice. I'm not trying to give you medical advice. And I will speak about something very generally. A lot of the times, people just need to be validated about their experiences and they wouldn't develop full-blown crazy, super crazy illnesses sometimes because they would accept that what that person told them about themselves was true. So, for example, I truly believe this is linked to trauma, but I do get headaches and I sometimes get very sharp pains all over my body, and then sometimes my body will twitch. And so we looked it up, and it's called benign fasciculation syndrome, is what the doctors what I had found online. Because other than that, I wasn't really feeling any worse. But sometimes I get twitches, and they're annoying. When I went to the doctor didn't just hand wave away everything I said. He asked questions, he showed interest, he ran an exam, and he came back with the answer and said, honestly, Derek, after everything that we've talked about, everything that you've been through, I don't see any other issues going on. I truly think that it is this. If you'd like to continue to do more things, we can, but I truly think it's this. Because my doctor was black. And because I felt like he was listening to me, and because at the end of the day, I have to trust an expert. There's no reason for me to keep going to the doctor if I'm not going to trust what the doctor tells me. I'm just seeking validation at that point. I'm just seeking someone to keep telling me it's okay. At some point, I have to accept and say it is okay. I am a person who tends to have twitches, who tends to get headaches when I am stressed. because I know that if real life illnesses can be made better through relaxation and exercises, I do think that real life, depending on how you define real life, we don't have to make that dichotomy. Illness can be from trauma, absolutely, from experiencing trauma. And so, but what I see a lot of is, especially when I used to work in chronic pain, is people just don't feel validated and they just keep going and going and going, or they do get validation. And because they don't have the skill of accepting that, you know what, this is just how it is, they keep going and looking for somebody else to tell them something different. The answer to that question is, do you trust your doctors? I do know that anxiety can cause all sorts of symptoms. So yeah, especially anxiety and worry, because it, oh, that's a bull. All right, dang. Take that Uzi. You ain't charging me with this Uzi. Get out of here. Give me your skin. Anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. It's not for everybody. Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't trust your doctors, then find a new doctor, you know? If you can. I would keep looking. There's no point to go to a doctor that you don't trust. Just because they're the expert doesn't mean they shouldn't create an environment that helps you trust them. And then my next question would be, why do you trust me to even ask me that question? I'm just some dude on the internet. Well, I mean, I'm a therapist, but still, I'm not your therapist. So I'm just saying, you might want to look at how you trust things, right? Because usually when people don't trust others, there's some element of themselves that they don't trust. And that usually comes from saying I'm going to do things and then not doing them. I know I had to work on that. I used to use my issues as a reason to get out of stuff. So I would say things like, oh, I have tinnitus, or oh, I have, well, not tinnitus, but I would say, I don't know, just use my symptoms sometimes as an excuse, which made it very difficult for me to trust whether or not I was actually hurt in that moment or if I was just using it as an excuse. That's a very unfun place to be. I think we can fish now. Nope, that's not the fishing pole. That's not the fishing pole. There she is. I got about I'll do 10 more minutes. Anybody else wanna ask anything? I could set up a chat like this and then just fish and talk to folks. That'd be fun. We are not blowing up the fish. Any thoughts on drinking alcohol? Would being sober all the time help with anxiety? I quit drinking 2 weeks ago, but I feel like it has helped, but it may just be in my head. Why do you need me to validate for you whether or not it's helped for you if you're telling me right now that it has helped for you? You're literally asking me, is this thing that I feel like has been good for me actually good for me? Because you don't want, not like my answer. I think stopping drinking will actually increase your anxiety, especially if in a situation where you have every right in the world to be drinking. If I was getting nagged by my partner, I would drink too. If I was working as a corporate slave at Amazon, I would drink too. Hell, when I worked in the juvenile detention facility, I drank like crazy. I can't really trust anything, not even when I have. You trust that you can't trust anything, so you do trust something. You've got to, at the very least, trust yourself. And no diagnosis can be clear. Stop lying. Like, I think that's the thing. I think we tell ourselves lies and we don't realize it. No, I can't trust anything, not even when I have a clear diagnosis. No diagnosis is clear. Every single one is somebody's opinion, and you can go get inside a gigantic body scan machine and somebody could still miss something. One day, you and everyone we know is gonna die. We are. And we don't know what happens clearly after that, and that sucks. And we can spend our entire life being motivated and living and doing things based off that fear, or we can just say, I'm gonna have faith in something. I'm gonna believe something. And you know what? I'm gonna believe that I'm all right. People have told me, I've heard it 1,000 times. I've heard it from 3 or more people. I'm all right. And then after that, you just start acting on how you believe. Congratulations on quitting drinking now. Good for you. You might mess up though. I tell people don't look at it like quitting drinking. Look at it like I'm developing a habit of not drinking. Because what happens is people mess up and then they feel like everything is over. And there's a difference between falling down in the mud and then rolling around in it. There's no fish in this creek? Maybe I'm too close to the water. I'm scaring the fish away. I need to fish from like a high. Oh, you know what? That looks like a nice fishing spot. I wonder if there's a market for people who want to watch people stream games in the morning. That's usually when I feel the most talkative. Like I could get up early in the morning and do it. Just waiting to see if anybody else is gonna say anything. And tips on parenting after growing up in an abusive emotional. Make sure you've been to therapy, please. If not, get the DBT skills workbook. I think the very basic thing is you should take a class on parenting because all you know are abusive parenting techniques, even if you think they're not. So just learning what's normal for a child. Um, you know. And I mean, I don't know. People ask like how you check yourself. It's just for me, it's just hard to answer that because I'm not a parent. And I know I'm not a parent because I lack patience. I would lack patience at some times. I really would. I really would. Um, I really would. Sometimes I just want to play video games and not have to deal with a child. So the only way I could be a parent is if I had a whole village around helping me as I did it. I couldn't parent a child by myself. That's extremely hard. So you are going to get frustrated and you are going to get upset, but like you need help. I don't think you can raise a child, you know, kind of on your own. So I'm not saying that you are, but yeah, I would just make sure that I'm in therapy. Make sure that I'm in therapy. Make sure that I have friends to talk to who understand. Make sure I have, like, you just have to have a good village. You have to have a good village because you are going to lose your temper. Raising kids is extremely hard. And as much as these dusty foot parents think that I don't realize that, whenever I'm making my videos and stuff, I'm well aware at how difficult it is to raise kids because I deal with them in my comment section all the time. So you just have to give yourself slack. Make sure that you have something. Make sure you don't get to the point where you would need to check yourself. I was playing Resident Evil the other day. I think I might pick it back up, y'all. At least 2. Oh, doggies. What happened, dog? Why did you die? I didn't even do anything to you. Aw, that sucks. What the hell happened here? What is going on? Send the strongest dogs to the... What is this terrible place that I have walked on? You motherfucker out here killing dogs? Evil.
I didn't see a way out of that one. Thank God you came along.
This is insane. What is this? I'm gonna play this game more now. My entire goal now is to kill every single one of these people in this game. I can't believe that they like are literally killing dogs. Oh, look, it's me. Look at me as a sheriff. My bachelor's degree is in criminal justice. I'm gonna murder all of these people now. Before I go, I have to go on a murdering spree because I can't believe they killed the dog. That's so messed up. Yeah, I'm sure the patience is difficult. Do you give therapy to 16? No, I mean, it depends. They have to be very, very smart. And I have to let the parents know that I want to work with them too. So it's very difficult. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about having patience because I always center these thoughts around the children. So I'm like, the child needs you to have patience, you know? And so I'm not a very good person to ask for parenting advice specifically. And I know that. It's just hard because I just need to know where the parent's heart is. I need to know where their head is. I need to know what they're thinking. I need to know if they're approaching this from like, I have the issue and I need help, or my child is the problem. And so it's just very difficult to tell online, and it's emotionally laborious either way. But those will be things that I will have on my app. Dog killing bastards. You're not calling any alarms. One more remaining. I can't believe these dudes shot up a whole thing of dog. That's so messed up. Who does that? Like, there is evil. And then there's this, you know? Idiot. Shoot. It's okay to make mistakes. Alright, well, guess we're going loud. That's fine. I don't mind. I'll get you out in just a second. Oh, wow, that was a good shot. That was a good hit. I want your shotgun. That seems like that would be a lot more fun. Oh man, you call reinforcements, you dirt. All right, this is it. This is the last thing before I go. I want to do this quietly, but that's okay. We don't have to do it quietly. We can be explosive. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Come on out. Come on out. Let me jump on top of your head. Wow. Okay, well, can't use that mounted gun. Okay, all right, guys, I see you. Okay, that's a throwing knife. That's not good. That's a large gun. Oh, and there's a bull too. I'm gonna let them handle that. I'm just gonna come over here and rest for a moment. Is that a first aid kit? It is not, and I have no health. I refuse to die though. Yeah, let that bull take care of that. Yes, go ahead, Bessie. Handle that for me. I got your backup, Bessie. Bessie, I got your backup. Go get him. Okay, you missed though, Bessie. Maul him, Bessie. Yes! Yes, Bessie. He's over there in that corner. Oh shit. How do I direct the deer? I need to direct him here. He's over there. There's some bait. There he is right there. Go talk to him. Oh, now that's a oh, this is getting great. That's a bear there. Oh yeah, that's hilarious. That's funny. Thank you, bears. Are they gonna fight? Oh, let's go. No, don't do a cutscene now. That was about to be sick. Can we go back to the bear fight? At least, oh yes, all right, let's go. Oh, look at that takedown. Congratulations, Sir Bear. Okay, I don't need you mauling the whole, I don't need you mauling the whole crew. Nature coming together. Y'all, it's been nice talking to y'all this morning. I'm gonna go get myself ready for this day. I do want to stream more later. I wish I could just do it just like this. I just have to be in the mood, you know? It's like it's hard to want to come stream and talk after a long day of talking, you know? Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna figure it out because I want to do it consistently because it's fun. I like answering these questions, and then I can start getting super chats, you know? That'd be sick. And then that'll be my whole job, just sitting here on YouTube answering questions for people. And when people ask me stuff that's too long to answer, I'll just be like, hey, that's on my app. Let's see if we can hit this thing from here. I love to do stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure we can. Let's go ahead and blow up that silo from way over here. It's not that far away, in fact. Let's make it a little more challenging. What are they fighting now? What's going on? What are y'all upset about? Y'all are twitchy, man. All right. makes me very happy that that just happened. Okay. Well, I'll see y'all later. Y'all take care. Have a good day. Bye. I need some cool outro music. We'll get some. We'll get some cool outro music one day.